Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Admiral Pegasus, and on today's show we are going to be grading the overall Mirror Part 1. Yes, the overall arc for Mirror Part 1. I should have said the word out, shouldn't I? But anyway, so we're going to start off with the officers, but before we actually get into all that, if you'd like to know when I go live or release new videos, please subscribe to the channel. And please also don't forget to share out with your alliance, your server. Really get that reach going. And yeah, basically, if you think my content is good, share it with others and say, have a look, see what you think. But anyway, let's jump into it. So we're going to be starting off with the officers I've just said. And we're going to start with Mirror Picard. Now, this month has seen a shift in the PvP meta yet again. In the first take, I just prattled on about how I think this is not good for the game. But in simple terms is, the only thing that really makes PvP valuable is those who spend it for it. If you're prepared to spend the money, you're going to do PvP. If you're a free-to-play player, yeah, sadly, unless you're a right grifter and a grinder. But then again, even with the grinds in the game and what you can pull, you're limited on what you can do. So you're not really going to have most. And if we just quickly back out here, most of the PvP officers here, so like Strike Team Lalan, Picard, Riker, 7 of 9, Ransom, Shaxx, Tahana, all PvP officers I don't actually have yet. And Strike Team Lalan is one of the oldest ones yet. She's one of the oldest PvP changes to the game I still don't have. So, yeah, that is not easy to get into unless you're prepared to spend vast amounts of money. But it does seem like Scopely are trying to offer some variety in the game for PvP. But realistically, is it going to work? Well, yeah, for the spenders, for the free-to-play, I don't think as much, unless they've got enough materials and everything to grind for these officers. But at least they can unlock them, but they're not going to be able to do much to upgrade them. But anyway, so here we go. Captain's maneuver for Picard then is on the start of, on the start of round against players. Mirror Picard increases your isolated cascade by 50% for 2 rounds. Basically, another version of Captain Freeman's ability, except this is a captain's ability, so this has the chance to synergize. I don't know what the synergy is, but that was in the patch notes. Yeah, so, but if we actually quickly look at Captain Freeman's ability, now I've got to find her. She is a low level, so it shouldn't take me, here she is, don't take me too long to find. Obviously, Officer's ability is cascade of 60%. Now that will go up as I level her up, as I actually get her tiered up. But again, at the minute, that's locked behind wave defense, so can't really do. I like that comment there. That's just come up. That's from somebody who's. I'm not going to get into it. He's a dick, and if he comes over to America and starts supporting Trump, please ignore him. Because that's what he said he was originally going to do. But anyway, so Mirror Picard, so Captain Freeman's ability has now been moved on to the Captain's ability for Picard. And it's extended. So bearing in mind that this is going to keep procking and procking. And it most likely stacks. I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, synergy is around 100%. Then you've got this one as well. Adding the new combat, whether it's PvE or PvP, into the game, but this one's going to be aimed at PvP, and this is on the start of round against players with Assimilate. So yeah, this is bringing the Assimilate state in. Increases your Apex barrier by 10,000 or 30,000 at rank 5 for 1 round. So again, this is just going to keep going and going and going, providing you've been assimilated. So now, obviously, here's your thing. Apex Barrier provides true damage mitigation for all sources after all other bonuses. For every 100 Apex Barrier increases the damage you can take by 1%. It is very small. It is very small. So just bear that in mind when you actually do this. Now, it does say that obviously with a 10,000 Apex barrier, basically you're doubling the amount of damage your hull can actually take. So it adds on to the end of everything. So add up your hull bonuses, your officer bonuses, and then add this barrier. So add all that together. Then you got your answer. Then take your Apex barrier to multiply it by, add it onto that, and that's what you're going to get, basically. So it's a great new thing, this Apex barrier. It is a great new thing. But again, it's going to be something that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the rear to get into. So just bear that in mind. Next up is going to be mirror data. Now, as you can see here on the start of combat, against an interceptor player. So this is a specific class. So this is going up against those Pylums, those Northcuts, and if we actually talk about higher up, the Hector, the Sanctus, yeah, so going through high level. Mirror data increases your Apex barrier by 7,500 for the duration of combat. So it's adding that extra 75% hull, extra 75% of HHP after all the bonuses and everything. So basically meaning that you can survive in a fight longer, and basically means that the one round PvP combats that you have with Carol Freeman are most likely going to now be like 2 rounds if you actually have data. So, but again, he needs to be on your bridge. He needs to be in the captain slot for this to take effect, and it is class specific. So I'm guessing we're going to have a 3-month run of Mirror. We'll finish once. We've got 2 left to come. We're going to see the Battleship and the Explorer sides come in, unless they just drop them both next month. So next up, against players on the start of round, Data has a 45% chance to apply Assimilate to them for 2 rounds. So this is where the bonus is going to come in for Data. He's going to put your Assimilate on, and then Picard himself will take advantage of the Assimilate. So now obviously we do have Assimilate officers in the form of some of the Borg, if we can just find them. They are rare ones for me, and I don't think I've actually got them too high a tier. So oh, hang on, here he is. So these are, this is our original Assimilate officer. Below deck ability, a chance to apply Assimilate for 4 rounds. And there you go. When a ship is affected by Assimilate, officer abilities have their effectiveness reduced by 25%. So that's what will happen to when you have the Assimilate. So Data providing that 45% chance here. I mean, this is a tier 2 DZOC with that 45%. Obviously, it will increase as it gets higher. Again, it is a PvP ability, not a PvE, so do not try to apply it to PvE. But yeah, so there you go. Now, the officers, from my view, they do have some value in PvP if you want to use them. They are replacing the Freeman, well, expanding, I would say expanding on the Freeman meta. But again, is it going to be something that you're going to actively chase? Well, if you are a free-to-play player, possibly not. So for me, I don't see any value in these officers because I'm not a big PvP player. When I go out, yeah, I'll put Freeman on. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. It's that simple. So I'm not particularly that fussed. When it comes to the war situation side of things, yes, you can see a lot more value actually in them. So it's your choice at the end of the day. I wouldn't exactly say that that you need to go after him if you can't at the minute. So do not worry too much about it. But let's actually just talk about the Apex barrier side of things briefly. So obviously that's a new thing that's brought in. So I think it's a great idea. That way you can actually survive longer, and it's going to work in both PvP and PvE. So there is a lot of value there. But I mean, if we actually just take a look at like my Newton, and if I've if I've understood how it's going to work, basically, it's basically going to take my whole health here, which is just short of 56 million, and pretty much at 10,000 barrier is going to double it. If I remember, so I'd be looking about 110 million. So, or 112 million actually. Well, actually, probably a little bit less. Yeah. The basic understanding I've got. Now, I could be wrong. Let's just put that in there. I could be wrong. But, yeah, it just means I'm going to survive a lot longer in PvE. I'm going to be able to kill twice as many ships, which is great. That's great. So, I do say that's a big thumbs up for that one. Being able to grind longer. But, again, it's adding more time into the game of grinding. Which, for those who actually want to go fight, yeah, absolutely, I can see it. So, now, next up, we're going to have a look at the Mirror Universe, but I just need to put a speed crew on my ship, so I'll see you in the Mirror Universe. Okay, so here we are at the start of the Mirror Universe. Obviously, new stuff brought in. Basically, I just wanted to quickly cover it and give my overall opinion on this. I've brought Voyager in to actually do this. I'm not particularly too keen on the fact that you need keys to access it and things like that. But I'm keen on this, the fact that I don't need to do out, and it will switch me over to the new system, which is great. So, but then of course, as you can see, we've got a timer as well. So now you're having to rush across the system, trying to get through as many rifts as possible to where you want. But obviously, you're going to have all these new hostiles as well, which are going to drop the new resource, the Trillium A and then the Trillium D as well. So, great new resource. Well, it's actually not a great new resource in perfect honesty. But, yeah. It's another grind added to the game, which can be a little bit problematic. Now, here we go. So, I do like this one as well, as the fact that there are specific extract points as well when you use them within that 20-minute allotted time to basically get you out of the Mirror Universe. But the one thing is, what's missing from the Mirror Universe, in my personal opinion, is a chaser. They added it for Augment Space. They added it for Texas Space. You're in another universe, for God's sake. They're going to be they should be chasing you. Here's the extract, so that'll take you back to a specific system. But the biggest thing I want to show out of this is what I haven't showed in the videos yet. Is they do have surveys in this, and these surveys actually are probably worth grinding when you are doing your rep grinding. So if you I've flying Voyager in. Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that, because I wanted to get through the thing as quickly as possible. Now you can see I've got quite a few keys to jump around, so I could effectively open up all these systems if I wanted to. That's not the system. Bloody hell, where is it? There was a system that had them in. Oh, I think it's hostiles. Yeah, it's back there. So, let me get myself into position. So, down one there. So basically I took the wrong route. So you do have to be aware. You'll be able to collect all these from your refinery. The entry vouchers are literally 900 every 3 days. So, and yeah, so, and the entry is 300, as you've already seen, and you've seen in the previous videos when I did the grinding video. So, yeah, you could probably do a run a day. Now, obviously, I will recommend that you check out those videos on the grinding side of things, what's better to grind or mine, because there are nodes for you to actually mine as well. But if we actually look at this, as you can see, they've got broken ship parts, which is great, so you can do your active grinding in here. Pretty much like the Silent Hostile as well, they're dropping a fair whack of broken parts as well, but again, this class specific. These are obviously survey ships, and they're dropping all 3 classes except survey, which is a bit of a bugbear because you still need parts for the surveys. But if you actually look at the reputation on top as well, 10.2 thousand reputation. Add all your reputation research onto all that as well. And yeah, you're literally basically turning all your reputation into such an easy grind. And if we actually call it all up here, you got Klingon Federation ROM. You can see my ROM is ahead, which basically means now, if I wanted to grind when I go into G5, all I have to do is go into one of these systems and grind it out, get the Klingons up so I can get my Vorcha. But the bonus with it as well is going to do the other two. So I don't have to keep hopping between Federation, Klingon and Romulus spaces just to get up the individual reputations. Because at the minute, to get the Klingons up, I'd have to go into Romulan space because that's the primary. Now, I could go into Federation space, but the primary there is Romulan, Klingons is secondary. So Klingons only get half the reputation than the Romulans. So going into here to Mirror Universe and grinding in here for 20 minutes seems a lot more bearable. So, I mean, if we take the Federation one, if we actually look there and just keep an eye on that number, we'll forget the one at the front, but we'll look at the 2013286, okay? And if we actually just go and hit just one of these, I mean, bear in mind, I haven't even got the Newton, which gives me the boost. I haven't got Loot Cruise, which give me the boost. But obviously, I'm going to take... Okay, I'm actually going to lose. I'm going to lose against that one. But okay, but you get the general idea. So that was a bit of a cock-up, wasn't it? But yeah. Now, another good thing in it as well is the fact there's no protected cargo. So if you did want to do PvP and OPC hunting, bloody great idea for OPC hunting here to go find all that Trillium. There is mining systems as well, as I've already mentioned. If we can just find one, I'll tell you, we'll look at this premium one. I don't have any tokens to get here, but again, this is going to give me the Trillium. Again, check out the mining grinding video because there's just a list of every single system that contains it and whether it's got the Trillium A or the Trillium D in it. But overall, for me, the Mirror Universe is a great new addition to the game. I do enjoy going in here and just running around, and knowing the fact I've only got a limited amount of time. So it's like if I'm constantly being asked at home to do something, I can't, I'm in the middle of a timer, it gives me that reason to turn around and tell the family to, no, I'm busy mid-game for 20 minutes. Instead of me saying, yeah, alright, just put it down. Because if I'm grinding in Romulan or Federation space or wherever, I could just put the game down and go do the job, which could be something like just make the kids a drink or something. Now I can just turn and say, no, I'm grinding, I'll do it in however much time. Now that, yes, that makes me a bad parent. I know that says I'm a bad parent, but no, I do anything for my kids. I've given up live streams for my kids. So, I mean, because it is on mobile, I can just take it and still grind while I'm still doing it as well, because there is the travelling around. So, yeah, actively, I still have to do stuff. I still can do stuff, but if I was on a laptop or something like that, then I would have to get up and go, and then that's just wasting my time. So the timer side and the tokens to actually move around it, I'm not a big fan of. But the space itself is actually pretty good. And then obviously you're transferring it into the refinery. You got your vouchers, you've got stuff as well. And another thing that I never mentioned with the officers, that you are, and we'll use the Trillium D for this one, you are going to need liquid Trillium D to upgrade your officers. So basically it's like the Borg officers that require the active nanoprobes, as well as officer XP, as well as independent credits. Yeah, you're looking at independent credits, officer XP, and Trillium D, and it is expensive. They are expensive to upgrade, and this is another reason why I don't like those officers. At least the active nanoprobes for the Borg is, well, given today's game now, is so easy to source, it's so easy to get. This is a nightmare to get. That 240 for that Trillium D off one chest. Okay, I'm not getting as much of that from the Trillium A side of things when I do the 2 chest pull, but yeah. And then, of course, you've got all this dust as well, which goes towards your research, because there is a whole whack of research. There is a bunch of trade downs as well, and you can also spend your liquid Trillium D in here as well. So you got like your officers, which is great. But the only problem is the pulls is just 1, 2, or 3. That's it. And obviously it's got all 5 officers in it. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Sorry, 6 officers. So yeah, I mean, I've got all officers besides Hoshi and Shran. I'm pretty close to Shran. So I'll tell you what, let's do a pull. Let's see what I'm going to get in this one. Probably not an awful lot. No, 1 Hoshi and 2 Trip Tucker. So really not an awful lot. So the pull rates are particularly good. I wouldn't really recommend wasting your stuff on this. However, this is a good chest. I would recommend using this one. As you can see, there's some Protomatter and some Tier Up Catalyst. The Tier Up Catalyst is absolutely critical for upgrading the forbidden technology. Then obviously you got resources again. I'm just going to waste some Trillion D here for you. So just to show you, it's got some volume in it. So 12 billion raw steel and 25 billion in tokens. I can't complain at that one. And then obviously you've got these as well. Well, I can't do this because I'm 5 short. Never mind. So, and the great thing as well is when you're looking here. Oh, not that one, obviously. Let's see if we can find it here on this one. If you actually go in here as well, it tells you what your next one is going to be when you go to the next level. So Operations 51 rewards are increased. However, the trade-off costs are going to be more expensive, so you just got to bear that in mind. Here, I've got a chance to get some of the very rare premium keys. They are very hard to get hold of, and uncommon keys as well. So again, we'll just get some out of here. Ooh, nice. Okay, so and then as well, you've got some dust as well. No, I can't even claim the first one. But again, this is all going to go towards your research. Now, let's quickly jump at the research stuff as well and just quickly cover it, because there is one ball lake in that one. In fact, it's not a ball lake per se. It's a why did you do that? But we'll quickly cover that. I am getting conscious that the video is getting too long, so if we just get into it quickly. So nice little animation. So here you've got your standard apex barrier building up. As you can see, I'm only at 1.7% hull health increase. That's all I'm at so far. So, but the power jump is not particularly too bad. So far, all I found is it's 15 seconds to do. So it's nice and quick and easy. So you can get through it. This is another good one for increasing the amount of trillium that you're going to get from the hostiles. So really would recommend going after that. I can only do 1 extra level on that one. This one's to increase your mining speed for all those mining nodes. But again, where I'm at, as I showed in the video, it's not worth it. That 12,000 would probably make it worth it. But again, once I go up to 51, we can actually look at that one. This one again as well, to increase some of the payouts and the costs from the Mirror Refinery. So there are some good stuff. Obviously you got the primes down here as well. But then we scroll across to start seeing all the uncommon stuff. So you've got uncommon isolated defense and uncommon critical damage against hostiles. So there are some PvE stuff in here, and then of course there are some PvP as well, so increasing that apex barrier. So really increasing the new overall combat meta. There's hull health in here. Then as well you've got the the epic stuff over this side. So you've got some positive reputation grinding as well. So add that with the with those surveys, again, you're boosting that reputation up. It is 10 levels, and when you actually oh, there is a slight power increase. Some of them don't seem to have a power increase with it, but the pain in the rear for me is this particular one right here. This is one of the best parts of this research tree. The problem is this is the penultimate piece of research before you hit the very end. Why is it all the way down here? Why is it locked behind the epics? It's going to take you ages to get there unless you're prepared to spend a few tens of thousands of dollars to get there. So for me, it's a great piece of research here, but why is it at the end? It really does not make any sense, and that is the massive letdown of this tree. But overall, this tree itself, excuse me, It does have a lot of stuff. You've got repair efficiencies, stuff against players, some stuff against hostiles, class-specific stuff again. So it is worth going through this tree. But again, it's down to you if you want to actually go for it. But overall, for me, the Mirror Universe does have some benefit to the game. It is bringing in the new Apex Barrier meta. So that's great. So that's going to help boost this month's grade up. Now, events this month have been, yeah, they've been relatively okay. We've still got some up here. It's the Monday morning here in the UK. But it's like we've had this Mirror Rush on for the last couple of days. This has been a nice little thing. You claimed a token, you went into Mirror Universe. It took me 2 runs to actually do it, killing the 45s. God only knows how many runs I'd have had to do if I hit the 40s. But I can't go any higher than the 45s. So that's helped me get a fair whack of Raw Trillium A in. And then obviously the final meta for it was basically an is that a frame or an avatar? I think it's a frame. And it's like, yeah, alright then. So the payouts in resource and materials though in here were actually pretty good. So that's the only reason I did it. It's just get that thing as an end. And then obviously you've had Quantum as well. You've got this. Yeah, these are stuck behind paywalls basically. This one, you'd have to get data. Unlock him. Yeah, okay. Not a single rare has been available yet in 2024 for free-to-play to grind out. Not a single rare. So I think that's something that really does need to be addressed. Then you've got this one that's basically claiming the prime nodes. Again, you're getting some of that epic dust as well. So that's nice. But you've got a nice little amount of epic dust through the month as well. And then obviously you've got this. I'm not going to complete this. There's no way I'm going to complete it. I mean, look at that. This was a topless event. A topless event, basically. So you'd have to do a lot of spending and everything. But, I mean, this one, I think, the solo leaderboard. Did I compete on this one? No, I didn't. But again, it was upgrading ships. So there were different various events to go with the Mirror Universe. And then also you had this one, which was pretty much that one there. It's just basically go out and kill 50 hostiles. There wasn't a one to return to your dock with Trillium A in your hold. Because obviously there's no protected cargo. So basically anyone could come and pop you. So, yeah, nice done. So if we just quickly look at the payouts on this one. So give you some more of the keys. Hence the reason why I've got so much. Guaranteed they're going to disappear over the next month or so. Then obviously you've got things like this. I haven't done this one yet. But again, the payouts are pretty good. So as you can see there, 25 billion raw, 25 billion tokens. Yeah. And the materials are not particularly too bad. The rare materials could be a little bit better. But again, I can't complain. I mean, obviously I'll be doing that this afternoon after recording. Ticket events as usual. Battle Pass, I missed a couple of Battle Pass events, so yeah. And then obviously the events that we've come accustomed to over the last few months, which is the Mission Keys and the Multi-Phasics as well. But yeah, it's not been a particularly too bad month. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, so events haven't been particularly too bad this month. Very repetitive, but that's what you expect from the first month of a new arc. So we'll see how it pans out in the next month or two. But yeah, I'd say it's something to do. There was always a way of getting around it. There was other events that synergized with it. So basically, if you did the one event, so it's like I do this one, and it would complete. So like the Mirror Rush, I'm going to do the Mirror Rush, but it would easily complete the SMS in this one. So there was easy ways to actually synergize a lot of events this month, which was great. First 2 weekends again was down to the SLBs, and then obviously because we've got the incursions prep ready for Friday this week. Thank you. We've been given the XSLB, and this one is Kirk and Riker. Yeah, again, unless you've got the materials to really go after it, you ain't going to stand a chance, really. So overall, events haven't been particularly too bad. I won't say it's the best, but not particularly engaging. I mean, the missions as well, I've not really been that bothered about the storyline of this. In all honesty, I've not. So I wouldn't say it's exactly a particularly high grade. Communication this month has been fantastic. When there's been a problem, Hamster and... Now, I'm just going to call him Simple Paul, because it's easier than me trying to remember how to pronounce the actual title he has on his Discord. So Simple Paul, who's the new CM for the EU servers, they've both been fantastic, getting information out there. Sierra as well, she's also been getting information out. So communication has actually been pretty good. I don't know if you got community managers as well for the US and the APAC servers. I'm sure you would have if we've got one for the EU, considering that US is the biggest and the most active out of all three areas. So yeah, it's been great communication wise. Stability, not too bad actually. Just the usual amount of lag, which happens on mobile phone. I think there's a couple of times I've had to crash. Oh yeah, actually, so there is been a problem. The new screen effect that's been popping up. I haven't got a screenshot to show you, but it's especially when you've been in the recruit section. Suddenly you go onto a different screen, and then suddenly the whole list of recruits up, and you can't do anything, and you've got to shut the game down to reset it. So there is that, but that's obviously a visual bug. The Scopely are aware of it, and obviously will trying to deal with it. I don't expect a fix until earliest Mirror Part 2. That's my assertion anyway. But overall for the ARC, yes, Apex Barrier, great introduction. Yes, Mirror Universe, great introduction with all the research and the refinery. Not too happy about an increased level of grinding. But yeah, I mean, after this month, I'd have to see what's the bare minimum that I can do to make sure I complete. Well, I need 13,000 loot to do a 2-chest pull every day. So I might knock that back. But again, I've got 20 minutes to kill. Do I waste 20 minutes? Do I waste some of the time and just go in, do the bare minimum that I need? Or should I just get as much as I can in that time? I am actually leaning towards just do as much as I can in that time. And again, this is something that I'm going to add into the grinding video that I'm scripting right now. So overall, I'd say Mirror Universe has been a B. The overall arc itself for this month, B. And realistically, it's a B. I mean, yes, I don't like the officers. But that's my personal opinion, because I think they're just trying to heavily dilute PvP now. PvP is something you just basically keep simple. You just can probably put some research in. But because ultimately it's going to come down to who's got the biggest stick. To put it bluntly, going back to Strange New Worlds, Episode 1, Season 1, going after Una, when Pike turned around and says, basically, in a war, it's the person with the biggest stick. And he brings the Enterprise down and says, I win. It's whoever's got the biggest stick is going to win that fight. So diluting it the way it's been diluted at the minute, I don't think it's going to offer any tangible benefits to the game. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not a big PvP player. If you are, please let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it. But anyway, overall, I would say a B. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next month, but the officers I'm pretty much going to think are the same, but it'll be interesting to see who they've got coming in. I did notice Barclay in the missions, so Barclay, maybe we're going to have the Mirror Universe Kira coming in, I don't know. The Attendant, that's one. But who knows? It'll be interesting to see. But anyway, like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm going to hop off now and get that event completed. But yeah, don't forget to share the video out with everybody. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. And until then, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next one. Goodbye.